welcome to the second episode of the Mindset Shift. If you were with us last week, we were talking about the millennials versus the Generation X, and if you did not watch that episode, please watch it over here or like, share, and discuss our content with your families. Today, we are going to engage in another interesting topic. As always, I'm with my producer and I'm going to engage him, and I want to hear his thoughts about what he thinks about the whole discussion of BlackTax and Breadwinner. I want to know, as a black male that is maybe, are you a firstborn in your family?
Nope.
What number are you?
Number 4.
Well, okay. This topic is above
my pay grade.
Your pay grade, but you can give your thoughts because you've seen your big brother or big sister, and you can give your thought on how you saw them being that made you not want to be like them or want to be like them or something like that. But this one is more personal to a lot of firstborns, the first generation to get access to finance, to opportunities. You want to grow your family, you want to empower everybody, but do you have to give your family money every month? Do you have to pay for your little brother's, sister's education? Do you have to fix your grandmother's wardrobe? Do you have to put the amatals in Lini?
What I would say, right, is when it comes to my siblings, for example, I wouldn't necessarily say that there is a huge age difference. Mm-hmm. So I would consider myself one of the firstborns.
How so? What's the gap between you and the firstborn?
Right. I've got like 2 elder brothers, right? And then the one that I grew up with, in fact, I grew up with all of them, but I would say the difference is that my brother, like is sharing 2 years only.
Okay, but the firstborn, the difference between you and the firstborn, how's the gap there?
Gap is almost 12, 14 years.
Okay, yeah, all right. Yeah, continue.
Yeah, so for me, in my family, I did some of the responsible things to do, I guess, like provide for my sisters. Because as soon as I exited matric, I paid for my sister's transport. Because at the time, when I was in matric, we were all using a train to go to school. So I then paid for a transport job because now that I'm no longer available, I don't want them to use a train. So I paid for their transport. I got a job as a waiter. And I didn't see that as a responsibility that it's like, now I need to take on this. And it's daunting.
It was natural.
It was natural. I wanted them to be safe, you know? And even till this day, my sister, one of them reminds me that Banele is my brother, Banele. First person wrong thing in the kwai lam lokal.
Yeah, because those are the things that us girls think about. Those are the important parts, Bele.
Exactly. Yeah. So, but I want to talk to people about the whole breadwinner concept, where if you're a breadwinner, for me, I see it as a privilege because not all people are able to do that. Now, I was watching a video a couple of days ago where they were talking about celebrities that want girlfriend allowance, and some of them bought like 50K a month.
450K
a month.
450K.
Exactly. So if you're in a position to provide, think of it as a privilege. Most men, and I'm talking about South African men out there, can't even afford a 50K a month for themselves. Right? So it means they are out of the question. So they can't provide for you. They can't be a breadwinner for you. So long story short, I feel like if you can provide, if you are a breadwinner, it's a position of privilege. So recognize what's your privilege for you to do that. And then I guess maybe in the second part of this video, I don't know, we'll talk about the concept of people just being lazy, because if Banele corner,
let me just we want to discuss the boundaries. Go to uphelelapi wokuba a breadwinner. Where does it start and when does it stop? Because now Banele is there. I know I'm gonna ask for money and he'll come through. Even though you have the ability to hustle your own different way. That's why Ngiti Futhi again. Yes, you can hold the position to be the breadwinner, but remember, I think the privilege of getting access to those opportunities is for you to build up everybody else that comes after you.
I
Now,
agree.
how we do it is the question.
Sure.
Because some other people say, okay, ukthenga groza every month at the house. That will be what I do. I'll do that. And then somebody else would be like, okay, maybe here and there, ngizothenga ipende and whatnot. And others say, how about I empower my little sister to do training and maybe get a skill and start something. So in that sense, lo muntu loyo will always have something that's sustainable. They won't need you anymore. The thing is, sometimes we want to be needed. In a sense, when some people find their own opportunity, that's why kunzima so ukuthi abantu bafaka abantu emsebenzini sometimes. Because a person mawufaka umuntu emsebenzini, they don't need you anymore. Because when I used to come and buy them drinks, ekasi, and be the man. But when you want to come back and say, come guys, nizosebenza, nonke you'll be at the same pace and you won't be seen as a man again.
Yeah, man, I'd be so happy to.
It's nice for everybody to come up.
Yeah, like
Yes.
so I don't have to buy you drinks anymore.
Exactly. But then the struggle is it's not that simple. It's not that easy. People want to rely on other people's strength to get by. They just want to be there and be victims. And I also think it's just the lack of self-awareness.
No.
Individual.
Some, in fact, most that have been exposed to Bayansangamabo. And I've heard stories of a lady, her sister, right?
Yeah.
And she only lasted a month. She said,
Because
she's not
drinking.
going to work. Yeah, she's not going to work under these conditions and whatnot.
I've heard that
And then
before.
she left, right?
Yeah.
So come month end, they both need to support their mother. And Baba Bagaseko, right? And I'm talking about people over 25, like Nomonye over 30, and I guess maybe the younger sisters, maybe 28 or so. So she knows life. She knows what it's like not to have sustainable income, right? But she left the job. She said, nah, I'm not going to work under these conditions. So what she's saying is that, look, every month you go to work, you slave, and it's okay. I mean, I just want every month. It's not fair.
Yeah, it is not fair. That's why I'm saying it's lack of self-awareness. Because if the person was self-aware, they'd understand that it's also important for them to be empowered and do things that matter to them, like it does to the big sister. It's not like the big sister didn't have a choice and whatever. She understands the importance of, moving forward. So if the person is not aware in their mind, we'll judge them as, they're being unfair and they're being selfish. But no, it's because they're not aware of what they want and who they are. So abanye ba project to others don't know how they lash out and what. It's better, So it's a longer discussion, but boundaries, I feel like they're important.
I think boundaries are very important. For example, if I went through a situation where I paid for my sister's transport and, bought them clothes, school uniform, stationery, and then after school, guess what they did? Because I remember I then got a Standard Bank learnership, right? Then when my sister, one of them finished matric, I applied for her. And then because I really cannot keep a job. So I left. Well, I did the learnership for 1 year, but I didn't, take up the contract to get formal employment under Standard Bank. But what I did 1 or 2 years later, I then applied for her to get the same learnership.
Yeah.
And she did the learnership. She got employed under Standard Bank, and now she's working for Standard Bank. So she's no longer someone that relies on me, But it's me nowadays. I'm like, yo, sis, tenga nobody call you. She's like, yeah, sure, 900.
Yeah.
Right? So they are self-sufficient. They are self-sustaining, and they're able to carry themselves. But it's it would have been a different story if I do all of these things out of love. Then how it's now your turn, or it's now your time to wake up and do something for yourself. And then the next thing will be khalapans.
Yeah.
I don't think I would have continued or but I don't know.
Yeah.
But I'm blessed
It's
because they didn't do that.
Yeah, your sister understood the importance of those opportunities.
Yeah.
And at that time you didn't accept you not taking the thing then. You were kind of laying a foundation for her still.
Yeah.
In a different way, And it's always, the universe is always ready to give you what you deserve if you go with it genuinely and with pure intentions.
100%, I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
So your intentions were pure for your sister and for you to say, this opportunity with Standard Bank is not for me. that takes guts to make that decision and be okay with it.
Yeah, but I mean, the other advantage I had is that, well, I'm a father now, but I spent all of my 20s by myself. So
you're independent.
Yeah, and mind you, all of my siblings are employed. All of them. Not even one, all of them are employed. So I'm lucky and I'm privileged because there's other siblings out there that I have to look out for my...
Because when you want Pelo Sevens, then everybody else is unemployed. In most situations, it's like that.
Yeah. You get what I'm saying?
That's where the breadwinner thing becomes a bit of heavy.
It becomes heavy because they have kids born, but they're working, so they support their own kids.
Yeah.
I mean, back then in my 20s, I would buy my nieces and nephews but they made sure to the basics like Makimbi or whatever, they cover that. Minimally, my money wasn't for your Makimbi. My money was for sweets.
Yeah, being the
kid.
Nice uncle.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because bonke by 7. So I'm that privileged and I'm that lucky, right? Even when it comes to my mom, sonke samnikeza imali. Sonke. Yes.
Yeah, so you're one of those good families that has it right
together.
And for the fact you acknowledge the privilege to say we are coming from a point of there's never been a lack so much, whereas other families are coming from a point where there's a lack from the start, where even from the grandmother there was unemployment, and then the grandmother would try to push here and there, but then now with the kids the opportunities were not that. So when as the first generation now to get maybe a diploma or a degree, and then you get this opportunity, where I start versus where you start is not the same place.
I fully agree.
Yeah. So for you, it could be, I enjoy being a breadwinner. Oh my God, it's such a privilege. But for me, it could be, this is such a curse. Because I hate the fact that everybody had to make sacrifices for me to get where I'm at. But then now I can't enjoy what I want because I've got all these things that I have to do.
Yeah, no, you are correct because it depends where you're coming from, the perspective where you're coming from. Because, it makes me feel happy. It makes me feel good if I can buy these kids McDonald's and make them smile. It makes me feel good, regardless of Gutabam or Aksabam.
Yeah.
But it made me feel good. It makes me feel good, personally, if I can give my mom Mali a smile, or when she calls and says, "I need 1, 2, and 3." Even my grandmother, So basically, you should as funny, but it depends where you're coming from, where you could be in a situation, but we'll probably both look at the situation and not perceive it the same way.
Yeah, because it's just too different.
But I've seen I've got people where they're the only breadwinners and buy a car, buy a complaint.
Yeah,
but
it's not actually. That's why I'm saying that. Again, going back to that line, because it can now become toxic to a point that it starts making you feel some type of way, and the only way to go is to lash out. So the closest things to you, the things that you love, that you want to do the best to, is your children and whatnot, and you can't do all of that for them because you're doing this for everybody else, and now you're frustrated with your children.
I think the problem becomes more evident or apparent when you've got siblings. And you want to provide for them and their kids, because this is a true story. There's a lady, she's got a brother akafuna umsebenzi. Brother has a son, right? And akafuna umsebenzi, there was an opportunity ukuthi uGuy athola umsebenzi through my brother, because he runs a construction company, and
he didn't care.
Yeah, but every month end, the guy's mother still works, right? So nala my expectations nyana lao. So I've seen people that they will still choose not to work because there are siblings that do provide, right? And because I'm close with that family, so like you get to see the dynamics. And then guna laba that bayasebenza and they've decided to, you know what, ogwam.
Yeah, angizingeni.
Exactly,
and mostly is like your Gen X, I feel like, going back to the discussion.
No.
But coming back to
lawyer that I'm referring to is a millennial.
Yeah, but maybe not the firstborn. Yeah, that's different. It's weird. You're right when you say it differs, because if it's coming from a frustration point of view, most of those people would normally be like the firstborns who've seen it all, everything else, and then the ones that come behind, they've seen how this one is so heavily weighed. They don't want to experience that. So once they get the opportunity to get their own money, they set the boundary straight on to say, I'm going to help where I need to help, but I'm going to do me. So I'm going to help because I want to help.
Which I do understand.
Yeah, I'm going to do what I need to do when I want to do it and when I feel like doing it. But it's not an expectation to say, because ukholile, mele ungiphe imali, mele wenzeni. Because to other people, it's like, no. And to other people are like, yes, like you, yes, I feel happy when I give my mother money because she deserves it. She's worked so hard. You're coming from that place.
Yeah.
But somebody would be coming from, no, this woman was not even in my life. You were never even there for me. When I was growing up, I was abused by this one and that one, and you were not there. But because I'm stuck with you, I don't have a choice. But I'm holding these things ngaphakathi, you know?
No,
and for me, it feels like, why do I have to do this? And then then they don't push it forward. They don't care. And when you tell them, they're like, well, asukcelang. You know, you felt like it was your responsibility and you did it. And they were not wrong.
Yep. That's the thing. I mean, the concept of giving is a very interesting one.
Yeah, because you don't have to expect anything.
You don't have to. But Joba Ngishugutimena, I truly do understand for individuals that don't want to do it, right?
Yeah.
And I think even the basics of provision. I might not buy you clothes, but let's just say I'm a sibling. It's as in the only thing I'm going to do is basic food, right? And then maybe you try and take it a step further. I'm a French and nani. Most of how guys I'm a French and nani, but as a keeper, and stuff like that. So, and then as in, I thought food was just the minimum that I was going to do, but you guys like Nyamosha.
Yeah, like so.
Like Osebenzi, next thing fry Makanda I6.
I6, yeah.
You know?
And then Mawapeli, you're the first one who's a good Makanda azo konenini.
But mine it's now Sebenzi.
And
then you tell me I can't work under this condition.
Yeah. So those people, that's where you just need to excuse yourself.
For them, I'm not gonna tell them what to do. But I understand it's tough for them.
That's where now a boundary plays a very important part now, where you have to protect your peace. Now, when something starts stealing your joy and it becomes so toxic that it starts affecting your health and other things, then you have to say no.
But when Tsholofelo, what do you do when here's your sibling, got a child, refuses to work, and and you as the aunt,
you can't just watch.
You can't just watch.
I'm going to punish her, whatever.
And then
you're going to take care of the child.
You're going to take care of the child, right? But then there are these small things that take you off. For example, now I'm going to be in a skipper label. Okay, we don't know. But you then stop and think, but dude, or when a girl was a guy, you could have bought something for your child. I mean, I'm out here as Nisha for your child, but when you get money.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. That person is just not responsible. They're not responsible, and maybe they were not ready to have a baby. Sometimes it's the case.
When I say if you sleep without a condom, it means you're ready to have a baby.
Yeah, physically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not to go to Behringer crazy. No. You knew Molala without a condom.
Yeah.
You're ready.
Obviously, you know that it's like smoking a cigarette knowing that it causes cancer. You smoke it anyway. And then when it causes cancer, you are like, oh, shoot, I didn't think, sorry for the language. Wow. And then, going back to say, what were we talking about now?
No, we're talking about the difference, Yuguti, as a breadwinner. I came from a position of privilege, ne? And then Gunabanya, where it's not that easy for them. Because buy breadwinner, for some people, it's frustrating.
It's BlackTax.
Right, and it's BlackTax, and they expect, right? So
BlackTax, for the fact it's tax, it means it's expected to be paid, and for the fact it's black, if as an African you are expected to pay it.
Yeah,
but does it happen everywhere, or is it just a South African thing, or is it an African thing?
White people don't talk about it because the parents are well off.
They've never seen it as a chore.
Exactly. So you go to varsity, get a job, you start your own life. The parents are well off.
Yeah, they already have a structure to say once you're 16, you get a license, you get a car, you move out at 18, you get a job. Everything is placed already.
And then come when you've got grandkids, Babona, and that's it.
Yeah, bring them over. And when the abomkhulu bakhula, they get taken to a home or something because and that's another thing where Ubuntu for us Africans I feel, because for us is totally disrespectful to leave your parents aging. I think we don't send our parents to homes, or maybe we didn't have access to mine.
Exactly.
To send them, can I drink something?
Sure, you can drink, but it's on camera.
So what? No, blur it out.
No, I'm not gonna blur anything out.
And it's promotion.
It's fine. You're drinking Coke.
Coca-Cola will come on as a sponsor on the show.
One day.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I think I can close it there. Some people are privileged, né?
Yeah.
And some people are not so privileged, where it makes it difficult for them. But kuna labo that have to also take the first step and show gratitude and show kindness, just so that the next ones can come through. Depends. Some will come through and reciprocate the love and pass it on back to you, and even alaba balandelayo, right? Joba ngisho ukuthi mina like abona makuthiwa Thanksgiving, I've got so much to be thankful for, mina, because my daughter knows umamakhe and my daughter knows ugogo wakhe, as in umama kamamakhe, and umama kababakhe in my case. And my daughter knows umama kamamakhe. They're all still alive.
The whole generation is still there.
Privilege. Yeah.
Blessings.
That I wouldn't say it's a privilege. I'll say it's a blessing.
Yeah, it's a blessing. Yeah. And I think just to sum it up, it's an interesting one. Just to say, it doesn't matter where you're coming from. What's important is to come from a point of love, I guess. If you have to do something to empower your family members, if you have to do something to bring somebody up, to give them an opportunity, to alleviate poverty, to create generational wealth, let's do that. But let's do that with understanding. Let's do that with also giving grace to the person that's the pillar of the family. Support them in a sense that understand that they're doing it not because they have to, but because they want to. So let's be kind in doing it. And as we roll out, as we entertain who we are, we will be back again next week with another mindset shifting topic that's gonna keep us engaged. And who knows, we might have a guest in studio, or we might be talking to somebody on Skype. We'll see how that goes. But I think as the topic goes, we need to engage more people. These are big topics that people want to talk about. If you also agree, put your comments on the comment your thoughts down there and let us know what you think about the show, about the topics. What do you want us to talk about? What's so burning for you that you feel like it needs to be in a conversation? We want to shift minds here, and we want to keep you engaged. Remember to like, follow, and subscribe to our channel. Until next week, I'm out.